à la connectivité électrique dans la région, allant jusqu'à un soutien pour le nucléaire civil. Je ne peux pas terminer sans un mot sur les échanges entre nos artistes, nos chercheurs, nos universitaires et nos étudiants, tous ceux qui font vivre la relation entre nos deux pays. Nous avons de nouveaux accords en perspective pour continuer de tisser ce lien humain entre la Malaisie et la France. Une attention toute particulière sera accordée à la francophonie, dans la mesure où un pays d'Asie du Sud-Est, le Cambodge, accueillera l'année prochaine le sommet sur la francophonie. Monsieur le Premier ministre, vous avez récemment fait référence à Tocqueville et aux habitudes du cœur. Une certaine éthique qui rapproche les nations démocratiques malgré des forces centrifuges qui essaient de les opposer les unes aux autres. Je suis convaincu que la relation entre la France et la Malaisie est aussi guidée par cette habitude. Et vous pouvez compter sur notre amitié pour la maintenir. Je vous remercie encore, Monsieur le Premier ministre, de votre présence en France, renouant un lien si important. C'est la première fois depuis 15 ans. Et c'est donc une visite importante, historique. Les décisions déjà signées viennent l'illustrer encore davantage, mais les discussions que nous aurons ce soir nous permettront aussi de bâtir encore davantage l'avenir. Merci, Monsieur le Premier ministre.
Merci, President Macron. Thank you again for the invitation. I give certainly a priority to this visit because his sincere friendship and our engagement has been very fruitful, very frank, very candid. That emulates a typical French tradition, culture, tolerance, and wisdom. That's why I made full use of Tocqueville's habits of the heart, because I think that makes democracy work, that makes humanity work, that make your vision in terms of solution to the problems, be it in Ukraine, Russia conflict, or the problem in Gaza, on Iran, Israel, that is consistent with the tradition, cultures, and values that the French upheld since the days of Montesquieu, Voltaire, Rousseau, and etc. So I must thank you, and it is a great experience, great to be this great city, vibrant culturally, and of course a center for philosophical ideals. So may I again express my profound thanks, and hopefully before you reach Cambodia for the Francophone, I will not give any excuse if you fail to visit Malaysia. Now, first on the bilateral, it's been further enhanced. I'm very happy with this visit and our collaboration. Airbus, for example, has given our focus. Malaysian Airlines 20, and AirAsia another 50. And then you're working with Sarawak, the state, with their own airlines, and wanting to then operationalize their collaboration with France, which means it's going to be a major player in the region. At the same time, you have Total with a major entry with Petronas in the CCUS, carbon capture and alternative energy. And I think this collaboration would mean that the investments will be quite major in the region, and together they have been going to Latin America, Africa, and some other countries. So with that collaboration among the private sector, more the reason why G2G arrangements, exchanges with ministers, and exchange of policies should continue at a higher level and more constant. And a number of other companies that we mentioned to the Prime Minister this morning, and some MOU have been signed. And I think we have benefited immensely from the education, the AI, digital engineering that many of our students have been trained here. We want to further explore. We have now started to get students into Malaysia, French students, and tourism also increasing. Of course, we can compete. The attraction and the splendor of Paris and France is too compelling, but at the same time, it's interesting that you find more Frenchmen and women, youth, going to Malaysia. Our advantage is we can swim in the seas throughout the year. There's no season. And of course, these exchanges will be helpful through additional flights, which is happening. Malaysian Airlines have come here, and with collaboration again with Asian particularly, and Malaysian Airlines with Airbus. Although we hope that the operations and the production of some of the other parts will continue in Malaysia. Now on the international front, I'm of course attracted by your initiative, which is true to the French tradition, persistent and with such passion to try and resolve the outstanding conflict in Gaza. Of course, we have condemned the continued bombings and atrocities inflicted upon civilians, women and children, and it's a shame that the international community is not able to resolve this. So your initiative much supported by us. No question about peace, and if it takes both sides to secure peace, I agree with you. That's why we are also committed to the two-state solution. We also condemn the Israeli aggression into Iran, and we are communicating with Iran. And you take an exception because, Mr. President, you continue to engage in this world of global and multilateral arrangements must be supported, and therefore solution cannot happen without effective engagement. And therefore, I certainly support, and I see your effort with some of our neighboring Arab countries trying to resolve the issue. Although we have some slight reservations, as long as it is not meant for arms, for provocations against other countries, I don't think we can deny the issue of the use of nuclear for peaceful means. Nuclear non-proliferation, proliferation or even power cannot be seen to be selective. You take no to Iran, you say yes to Israel, we have a problem to try and resolve that. But I agree with you, we must impress upon Iran to use this for peaceful methods and peaceful means, and allow for inspection, which they have given commitment, but I think we have to follow through. And I think, therefore, please be assured, President Macron, that we will be here, we will continue to support, and we need leaders with such passion to do something effective to resolve the seemingly unsurmountable problems that the world is facing. So again, thank you very much for this opportunity. Beautiful place and too good of food and beautiful surroundings. Merci.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup.